So, um, as an oracle who is struggling with organization right now, I have to just catch these glimpses when I can. So, I'm going to share this, and whoever it's for is for. Being an oracle means that I am the lineage of the Sibyls. So, I time travel, astral travel, lucid dream, talk to spirits, medium, intuitive, empath, smell smells no one else can smell. I am hypersensitive. All of my senses, except for my eyes, are heightened. Okay, so I hear things others cannot hear, oftentimes before it actually forms into the physical manifestation. With that being said, with these activations that are coming through right now, y'all know I've been very open about this. I have sickle cell, and sickle cell is a very spiritual disease. I'm so grateful for having sickle cell anemia because the level of pain that I have to endure every day helps me to be comfortable with discomfort, which allows me to peer through the 3D matrix. Because a lot of times we're not seeing through the 3D matrix because of our own fear of the illusions of being afraid to be unattached. A lot of us have attachment issues. We're so attached to shit. We're attached to the way that we look. We're attached to the way that people are going to perceive us. And like, I have lost all ability to give fucks about any of that because my gifts are pulling me out of the 3D matrix construct where I exist by those rules. So yeah, I don't follow rules. Never really have. But yeah, it's definitely on another level now. With that being said, let me tell you what's happening. Neurodivergence just basically mean your brain don't work the way normal people brain does. Just basically means you might be ADHD, you might be autistic. I'm not going to explain what these things mean. You're going to have to go back and look them up if you don't know, but you need to know. It's very important. Complex PTSD. Trauma affected you in a way where you created different personalities, different versions of yourself. And you pull these versions of yourself out when you need to, but most of the time you don't have to think about it. Just a false self mask will just appear when you need it. And you turn into who you need to be for certain situations. People in the Black community, especially, we're really good at this. We don't have to think about it. And yeah, my accent can change on a dime. As soon as I answer my phone, depending on what the situation is, who it is, and what I don't want to be happening, a whole other avatar is pulled up. It's pretty unique when you think about it, but it can be a problem if you're trying to develop authentic relationships. This is why so many people are having relationship issues because they don't know what their brand of neurospicy is. You gotta know. Are you ADHD? Are you high functioning autistic? And do you have complex PTSD? I'm really giving y'all something that took me more than 15 years of research to understand right now. I hope that y'all appreciating this. I'm going to go into details soon, but right now I'm just giving y'all enough so that you can start working through this information. The next thing, I was a gifted kid. I remember being pulled out of class for all types of tests, pattern recognition, ink blocks, hearing tests, just all types of shit. And I excelled in everything that I did. I was a really, really strange kid. I was so genius, so smart, empathic, intuitive, but I could not stand to sleep by myself or sleep in the dark because spirits would not quit fucking with me. People that died before me in that place would be talking to me. Like really, like that movie with the little boy with the sixth sense, that's real shit. And that's a reality for a lot of us. So over time, because of the trauma that you experience, usually because you got a soul contract to come into a family who's not really gonna be accepting of you, it's set up like that for a reason. It helps us to win. Nothing bad ever happens to us. Nothing bad ever happened to you. I know you probably thinking to yourself right now, Khamsin, it's no way that you're telling me that blank happened to me wasn't bad. I'm telling you, I can prove every negative thing that ever happened to you was meant to be pain to turn into purpose later. I'm going to teach y'all how to do that, like on the dime. So just stay tuned because I'm trying to organize it all, but so much is coming through. If you were a gifted kid, if you experience any kind of trauma, small t, big T, or both, you are probably hypersensitive. You are probably hypersensitive to people's tones, hypersensitive to the way people look at you, hypersensitive to people's body language and triggers. It's because you are an energy reader, but you have not learned how to master the gift. You have not spent enough time going internally and integrating with your wounded inner child to master the gift. You have not done enough shadow work to master the gift. So there are specific pillars of things that you must do to master these gifts. And I really do believe most relationship issues that I see right now, I'm like, yep, they're clairaudient. They don't even know what the fuck that is, but they did. Oh, they're empath. Oh, they're a high sensitive person. So everything is triggering. Everything that people say. That's one layer of this. Let me get into the next layer. My ladies, divine feminine, I have not forgot you. Now, the divine feminine came into this world, and we came into this world as surrogate mothers to anybody who did not have a mother. We didn't know that we agreed to this in our soul contract because most of us have amnesia about our soul contract and we don't know how to access our Akashic records, so we have no clue. So we attract people, partners, into our lives who need to be mothered, who need to be told what to do, who need to be loved, who need to be reassured. And sometimes it gets to a point in your life where you notice that it's constant and it's a pattern and you burn out. A lot of women right now burnt out. If you were 30 years old or older, you were probably burnt out. You were probably tired of being the one to carry all of this burden and this weight. So here comes feminism, and women are like, we can do what men do too. And so now we're out working and we're going to school and we're getting master degrees and PhDs and doing this. So now we're still trying to manage home. We're still trying to do what the divine feminine naturally does, but we're also taking on these masculine traits. This has led to the emotional mental health issues. Now, you layer into that what's happening with our food. Our gut microbiome is not functioning the way that it should. So our nervous system is screwed. And a lot of us are touched out, meaning when you have children and you got to breastfeed and hold them and rock them, and when they're crying, it's so much touching, you're touched out. And if you're in a relationship with a man who probably has a wounded feminine issue, so he's seeking that feminine energy from you because he hasn't cultivated in himself. Most men have not. Another topic for another time that I have talked about on my Patreon. Most of what I'm streaming through right now and channeling this to you in a really quick way is on my Patreon and broken down, okay? And once I start channeling, sometimes I go on for hours. Trance-like state, Sybil shit, oracle shit. That's what it is, and that's what I do. So women are not wanting to be mothers anymore. I get it. I understand. And those of us who are mothers are needing time alone. And sometimes people in the house don't understand. And you really feel like deep inside of you, if I don't get this time to myself, I'm gonna fucking lose my mind. And this is where the rage come from. And if you're not expressing the anger because you have been taught not to express the anger, you suppress the rage, and the rage becomes all types of physical disease. And then you feel ashamed and guilty because you're physically sick, because you feel like you shouldn't be physically sick, but you're doing something to make yourself sick. But now the amount of money that it takes to really get well with a naturopath is more than you can afford because of all of the shit that you figured out that's wrong with the food. So you're trying to eat organic, you're trying to eat healthy, you're doing this, you're doing that. It's a lot. This is the awakening. Welcome to the new earth. Men are going through withdrawal. They're so used to women being the mothers, and now we're not wanting to be, and they're going through withdrawal. They don't know what to do. They got to go within themselves and nurture their own feminine energy so that they are not relying on us. It's really a very vampiric situation that's happened. It's happened on a collective level. I have experienced it in my relationship. I'm not ashamed to talk about it. We'll be talking about it more and more. That's on my YouTube. YouTube is shadow banned, but you can search hard enough, you will find me and you will hear me talking about this shit. I'm talking about all the shit that people don't want to talk about because I'm untamed. I'm not going to allow myself to be tamed. I'm not going to allow myself to be controlled. It needs to be talked about. School, the way we remember it, it's not going to exist anymore. Work, warehouses, the way we remember it, humans will not be in them working anymore. These are some of the major changes that are happening. We're in the beginning stages of this. So if I was to recommend what to do, it would be listen to this video a couple of times, share it with people, save it, slow it down if you need to. This is really the speed that my mind works at. Slow down. So that's it. Stay tuned. I'm going to share more as it comes. I'm not an attention whore and trying to get some type of reassurance through doing this. I do this for free just to help people. But I am putting something together so that we can actually learn and grow together, because this shit is not a game. We came here to ascend. We did not come here to go backwards. And if you think about the past a lot, it's probably because you are a time traveler and you're trying to figure out how to use that gift to change your future. Yeah, it's that deep.